היי, ברוכים הבאים לפסטיבל חיפה 37 שמתקיים בין ה-19 ל-28 לספטמבר בחופשת סוכות. אני פה עם אינגווילד סווה פליקה, הבמאית של הסרט נינג'ה בייבי שמתארחת אצלנו. הסרט הוא זמין גם בצפייה אונליין באתר וגם בפסטיבל בהגעה פנים מול פנים. השיחה עכשיו הולכת להתקיים באנגלית, לא בעברית. ואולי תכיל גם ספוילרים, אז שימו לב ואנחנו נתחיל. לי קוראים נטע אוסטרו ואני כבר מתחילה. Hello, my name is Nela. I'm looking forward to talking to Inגווילד סווה פליקה, the director of Nינג'ה בייבי, which has been selected to feature in both Berlinale and SXSW. So welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Haifa Film Festival. It is so great to meet you, and it's so great to congratulate you on your awards and your beautiful, beautiful film, which I loved very much.
Thank you. I'm very excited that you want to show this film in Haifa. I would love to be there. I've never been to Israel, so that my film will be there is just great.
It's almost.
It's almost, yeah.
Yeah. So first of all, could you tell us in just a few words what the film is about to anyone who hasn't watched it yet?
The film is about a young woman in her early 20s living a life which I think is quite common here in Norway. She's trying to study. She doesn't really know what she wants to become. She has a lot of thoughts on that, which is displayed in the movie. What she likes the most is sitting in her room, which in her flat with her roommate, but she wants to sit on her own drawing, and she's really fond of drawing, and she kind of just lives kind of normal young life, and then she finds out she's pregnant, and not only a little bit but very pregnant. And the film is about how she's dealing with that because becoming a mom has never been on her wish list. She has a long list of things she wants to try, but becoming a mom is not on that list. And very shortly, that's what the film is about. And it's questioning, motherhood and responsibility and growing up. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the long list of things she wants. Mom was not there. So Nínjha Bייבי, the film is based on a graphic novel by, I hope I say it right, Inga Satre?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. So how did you come across this novel or this artist and decided this is the one you want to make into a movie?
Well, the idea of the film came when I did sound mix of my first feature, Women in Oversized Men's Shirts, which is a multi-plot film. And one of the characters, it's three females in different stages in life. And one of the women were unwanted pregnant. And I didn't feel, since it was a multi-plot story, I didn't have time to go into the feeling of being pregnant. And I had been pregnant twice myself, very wanted pregnancies, I must say, but still it felt like the strangest thing that I've ever experienced, that having another person growing inside you and all the thoughts that kind of were laid on you because you were becoming a mother. And I was in opposition to that. I was like, even though I wanted it, but I also have very much doubts that would I be a good mom and all of that, And I was wondering if I could make a story about a pregnancy and say something about being a woman in that state and not, falling into the traditional way of becoming a mother. And so I remembered Inga Satre's Art of Falling, which came out 4 years earlier, I think 2011, and I got the idea in 2015. Yeah. So 4 years earlier, she came with this wonderful graphic novel, and I read it when it came out, and I knew Inga because she's in, you know, we both live in Oslo, and I've been working with animation before. And I had this idea that I really wanted to work more with animation, because I love the way animation can just go crazy. I mean, you can fly, you can have really big dicks, and you know, everything can be exaggerated. So I knew she was an animator as well, and I love her in humor. She has also these comic strips about the grubby girls, which I love. So I thought, if she could be my you know, creative partner on this, it would be, this movie can be made. So I asked her, and in the book, Raquel is 16, or she's in high school. So one of the first things that I wanted to change was her age, because I wanted her to be old enough to take care of the child, but not wanting it. So, and Inga is a very, she's been with me from the beginning and all the way through. She's done all the animation in the film, which we worked a lot on how to make the animation kind of integrated in the narrative, that it was part of the story. So I'm very happy. I couldn't make this movie as it ended up without her, because she was really working with me on the script in the beginning, developing the project, and then everything. So yeah, but the book is quite different, you know, and it's mostly about these two female characters. So we had to invent a lot. It's like you take it from there and then you bring it to something else. Yeah.
You invented the character, the Neingjä Beybi, or was it in the novel?
It's not in the book. That was actually Johan Fasting who came with, because we've been 3 people on the script, and he came on board very late and we gave him like what we've been working on, and he kind of came with that character, and it kind of, you know, in a creative process, you kind of always go like, it's not working, and then when it came with that, it's kind of yes, now we got new energy, and we had to play with that. I'd never made I did animation before, but I've never made an animated character, which was a lot of fun and much harder than I thought. So, yeah.
So how, I mean, the movie obviously combines the live action and the animation, and Neingjä Beybi, the creature, the fetus-like creature, it expresses like her inner world or her youthfulness. And I was wondering, how was the process, like the creative process of doing both animation and live action, like directing, writing? How was it on set and afterwards?
It was, since I'd done animation before, I had very clear views on how I didn't want it, you know, and how I wanted this process to be a really good process. And it's a very low budget film, so we didn't have much money. I think Inga would like to have some more in her animation crew, but we didn't have money, so she had to do everything. But we also so I did a lot of research, talked to other people who had done the same things, and we planned very carefully how to shoot the scenes where she speaks to, there's nothing in the room, like in those scenes we have like a spy air plug, so she's actually talking to another actor in the other room, so she can react emotionally, because the scenes are very emotional with the talking to this fetus. And we also had with the photographer, we needed to know those scenes are very, you know, strictly drawn out, that we know where the Neingjä Beybi is moving. And we have a lot of other animations as well that we kind of uses either to create comedy, laughters, or to create emotions, to fill in the room of the emotions of the movie. And you know, most of them we had planned, but what was really good was that I put Inga in the next room, like very close to the editor. So it was really the process of editing, new stuff came in, you know, we kind of sat and we edited scene, and we thought, we need something here, this doesn't work. And Inga would be very close to us, so we could it's a very dynamic and fluid process, because we made the film, you kind of tighten it and put more animation in and took out some, and then we kind of could work very effectively, so which we had to do because we didn't have much time. So it was fun and very how do you say, very, you have to have a clear head all the time, because if you can't go the wrong way, because it takes so much time to animate, because you really needed to know if it worked or not. Yeah,
I experienced that. Animation is very, very
time consuming.
Yeah.
And
on the other hand, I mean, the live action, as I noticed it, it's the visual approach I think that you took is the film creates a very realistic and unpolished world. Like, it's not too colorful, it's not too bright, it's not too beautiful. Even the main character, she is beautiful, but she's a regular person. And I wanted to know, why did you choose that? I mean,
that was one of the things from the very beginning. And I think I'm very drawn to making female characters. My first film I made because I didn't find any interesting female characters this was in 2015. So a lot has happened since then. We have had Me Too and everything. So we have now, when you look at streaming channels, you have a lot of interesting female characters, I think. In this character, Inga and I, there was three things. It was the mix between comedy and seriousness, and it was the animation, the mix between live action and animation, but also very important to us and very clearly was the female character. We wanted to make a female character that we could relate to, that was not polished like you often see in film, and that was true. And some of the women that we see around us, that could be a person that didn't shower every day, that didn't put on makeup if she didn't want to, that really, we didn't have any makeup on set. We only had like a bottle of olive oil to put in her hair. So we used 1 liter of olive oil just to make her look realistic, the hair and everything. And we thought that that woman that is not sure what she wants, but she presents herself as quite tough and hard, but is very vulnerable inside. And I like that you're in an age where you pretend like but you really don't. So I wanted her to be that person who is outspoken and not afraid of being feminine enough, or she's just being who she is. So yeah, we really worked a lot on that also in the casting process.
I think she really presents that normal woman and this age, not knowing what you want to be, but thinking what you want to be. And we talked about it a little bit, but it is really a woman's film. A woman made it, female protagonist, and it asks questions about motherhood, femininity, and all those stuff, especially because, like we talked before, abortion is not an option. It's too late. So it's the question of, do you want to be a mother, or do you want to have kids? And although it's better now, it's still a taboo to some cultures or even some families, that even saying I don't want to be a mother. So for me, you managed to navigate this subject very, very well during the film without having it like take over. So I was wondering if we could talk a bit about the choice to even talk about it, or even what you think about it. We talked about it a bit.
Yes, the question about abortion, I really from the start said I didn't want to give her I didn't want the scene where she had to decide to take an abortion or not, because the character, and in Norway you can take abortion up to 3 months. I mean, you can go you have the right, you go to the doctor, you get a pill, and then And I didn't want to question that, because that is a right that we have as women and men, of course, that I don't want to question, because it's so crucial for me and the women's liberation that this rule is unquestionable for me. But so if Raquel could take an abortion, she would. So I would wanted that. I also wanted to question why it always ends up being the women's responsibility on their own if something like this happens. It's a one-night stand, the woman gets pregnant, and it's two people in the room making the baby, but it's always one of them taking care of it or taking care of the problem. So that's why I also worked very much with there's two male characters, and we I wanted to have them very different and separate, because one is he has a big heart. I wanted, because that's how most of the men I know is, they're just good people. And then I also wanted to show that it is possible. I mean, we have a certain view that it's always the woman who has to take care of the child, and I wanted to question that. I wanted to question also why is it so difficult to say that you don't want children? Because I also have, there are people around me who have taken that choice, and why do you always feel like you have to explain yourself when you have taken that choice? It's like people feel pity for you that you say you don't want children, but and you're thinking it's not a choice, it's something else. But it should be something that if you're a man or a woman, I mean, it should be also a possibility to be accepted if you don't want to have any children, and then that should be fine. So all of these questions I also wanted to discuss, because in Norway, people get children when they're older and older. You maybe you're in your 30s or 40s and you need help to get children. And I find it very interesting that when you're in your most fertile age, like 23, like Raquel, it's like impossible. I mean, when I was 23, it was not in my mind to be a mother. But when I got 30, it kind of switches. But it's not, the biology is working the other way. The biology in my body would say, well, when you're 23, you should have a child. But the society around me and how we live is like, no way. There is no chance I can take that responsibility, which I also think is an interesting thing to discuss,
Yeah, I think you have to be responsible for someone else in an age that you're not responsible for yourself, like in most parts, at least.
But it also has to do with career, because if you, as most women here in Norway, wants a career, and then if you get a child when you're 23, the career possibilities are it's harder, You need a career and then you can have a child almost. That's how it works many times here, yeah.
So final question, very maybe personal, but there are very many images or similes that resonate after the film is over. And for me personally, I noted the ukemi, the art of falling, which now I know is the name of the graphic novel. And it starts at the beginning when we see Raquel doing it as an exercise of self-defense, and then at the end by an animated character. And it really, really stayed with me. And I was just wondering what this maneuver, if this maneuver has a special meaning.
Yeah, that was one of the animations we put in very late in the editing process. But it was because that's something that I brought from the book as well, because I think as human beings, we always meet challenges, and for me, my daughters are now like early teen, And I'm trying to teach them that, yes, you have a horrible day. This is horrible what happens, but you can't put yourself under the cupboard in your bed. You can't hide from the problems. You really need to get back on your foot and move on. So it's really just a picture of finding the way to roll with the punches, you know, like kind of go with the flow and get up on your feet. And you can practice that in martial arts, like in Aikido, and you can practice in life when you meet problems. It's like, okay, how do I handle the problems? But you really have to, it's okay to be, you know, it's okay to be kind of lying down a little bit, but then you need to move on. You need to kind of get over it. You can't really take all your problems too seriously. If they're not, you know, some problems are very serious, but you need to solve the problems in a way. And for me, that's just a picture of, you know, moving on to something else and further in life. And I'm not 23, but it happens all the way through life. So you kind of need to handle it. It's a tool. Yeah.
Falling down and getting up.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you very, very much for talking to me.
Yes.
And hopefully next time it will be face to face.
I hope so. And I hope people enjoy the film and have a good laugh and have some talks after. So thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm just gonna stay in the word in Hebrew and thank you so much.
Thank you.
אז תודה לכם שהצטרפתם אלינו. למי שלא צפה בנינג'ה בייבי, הוא יכול להיות גם בפסטיבל וגם זמין באונליין במהלך חופשת סוכות. וכאן אנחנו ב-Q&A. להתראות. ביי. Thank you.